numerous trees down, and I suspect we'll continue to have more reports tonight. So these storms are packing a punch, and we're not exactly done yet. We'll have another round of storms coming in. We still have another round coming into West Virginia, and we could still see additional warnings, as well as possibly another tornado warning or two. But we also have had these storms capable of producing not just damaging winds, but large hail, and they are capable of producing some rotation. So this severe thunderstorm that's moving through, yes. All right, new tornado warning, and this is that storm. This is that storm. All right, this is that storm that we were watching. Okay. All right, so we have a new tornado warning, and now this includes the city of Stanton. This is the same storm that we were watching come over the mountain from the Craigsville, Augusta Springs area. So a lot of times what happens, I know it's that old myth of, you know, the mountains break up thunderstorms. That's not the case. In fact, what happens sometimes is the mountains can actually enhance rotation. And I have probably over a dozen examples of when the mountains can enhance that rotation. So I guarantee you what happened is the storm was showing signs of rotation around Craigsville, which it was, because we could see that. And that storm likely continued to produce rotation as it came off Little North Mountain. So now we have a rotating thunderstorm. And this is capable, it is radar indicated. So this is a tornado warning that's valid for about 30 more minutes. So I'm going to take off the lightning so we can see this. This is going to include the Middlebrook area. This is going to include Summerdine. This is also going to include the city of Stanton. It includes Greenville. It includes Stewart's Draft. And it barely includes the western side of Waynesboro. So this means that you need to be in your safe place if you are in this area. This is not the type of day where you want to run to the window with your phone or your camera and try to take photos. This is a different kind of day. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. If a tornado is on the ground already or about to produce, it is going to be rain wrapped, which means you can't always see it. This is not Oklahoma. This is not Kansas. You can't see these things from a distance. We have a lot of trees. We're just waiting for the tones to stop. Okay. All right. So I stopped there for a minute so we could let the tones go through. So what we're looking at is right now it looks like we are developing that hook echo signature, and that would be in the Middlebrook area. And I'm going to put my auto update on right here. Yep, we've got some signs of rotation. Okay. So this is going to be in the Middlebrook area. So if you are in Augusta County, can one of you pick this up and talk to them? Yep. All right, National Weather Service was just giving us a call, so we want to make sure and talk to them. So this is going to include, is that Shemariah Road, Summerdine Road. This is going to include Stone Branch Road, Bittersweet Lane, Arbor Hill Road. So that also includes Arbor Hill. This includes Sinking Spring Road, Stover School Road, Butter Road, Wagon Shop Road. This is going to include, it does include Craigsville still on Route 42. And this also includes the interstate. You guys might, I don't know how the cameras are set up on the interstate. You might be able to check the interstate for that. So this is also going to include Stewart's Draft. All right, so we are in a tornado warning now. If you are in this warning, I want you to be in your safe place. That means the lowest level of your home. If you don't have a basement, that's okay. You can get into a closet, an interior room, into your hallway. I am looking for my phone, thank you. I am looking at velocity, which we are on the edge of the, oh, nope, there it is right there. All right, so this also includes Arbor Hill, and we are picking up on some very strong rotation here. This is going to be right around the Middlebrook area, between Middlebrook and Greenville. All right, so you want to get into the lowest level of your home. Again, just grab a pair of sneakers, a sturdy boot, get into your safe place. It could be a bathroom without windows, again, a hallway, a closet, or even just kind of some sort of interior space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the shear, the wind shear. And I may have to reset this. But again, right now we are in tornado coverage, so we are going to stay on this until this tornado warning expires. It does include the city of Stanton, but right now the rotation is being picked up in the Middlebrook area. So these little blue areas right here, that is where we are picking up on that wind shear. Okay, so the wind shear is being picked up between Middlebrook, that's going to be Middlebrook Road, Sinking Spring Road, Stover School Road, between Greenville, Broadhead School Road, Dutch Hollow Road, Chestnut Ridge Road, Sugarloaf Road. Even if I'm not calling out your road, if you're nearby, I want you to make sure that you are in your safe place. All right, so this is going to be moving over the interstate, unfortunately. But what we are seeing is, and it's not always easy to see with the radar in our area, but when we do have it, that means there's actually a pretty strong sign. So let me take off the lightning. And I'm going to clean up radar just a little bit. It's actually losing its hook feature. Yeah, okay, so it's starting to lose the hook feature just a little bit. We did have a little bit of that hook feature. It's starting to lose it just a little bit as it approaches the interstate. But we do have this, this is a tornado warning. So this means it is radar indicated, which means radar has indicated very strong rotation. And I can clearly see that right now. VROT's very, very strong with this. This is going to be over Arbor Hill. And this is also moving over the Greenville area. This is moving towards Stewart's Draft. And we have torrential rain in Stanton. We have very high winds in Stanton. But right now the rotation is going to be closer. I'm going to draw this on for you. The rotation would be in this area right here. Okay, and that's going to continue, you know, it could push off more like this. You know, sometimes these can change motion very quickly, or it could push off kind of like this. So that's what we're going to watch these radar scans for. But right now the rotation is going to be between Middlebrook and Arbor Hill. That's Barrymore Road, Arbor Hill Road, Chestnut Ridge Road. That's going to be coming right across Route 11 and I-81. It's going to be coming across Walnut Hill Road. That's Route 11, Sugarloaf Road, Indian Ridge Road. It's going to be coming across Poor Creek Lane, Lofton Road. Okay, there's our new scan. It's getting close to Stanton, but again, I'm looking in this area right here. For the potential, you know, drop of the tornado. Arbor Hill, if you are in Arbor Hill, I need you in the lowest level of your home. I need you away from windows. I want you to make sure that you have some sort of a sturdy shoe on. And I want you in your safe place right now. I want you to make sure you are not close to a window. I don't want you to worry about taking photos, taking video, especially if you are between Middlebrook and Arbor Hill right now. You absolutely need to be in your safe place. If you know of someone between Middlebrook and Arbor Hill, please send them a message and let them know that they are in this tornado warning and they need to be in their safe place right now. What I don't want you to do is waste seconds, because you never know how many seconds you have until this tornado. Again, we don't know if it's on the ground just yet, but you never know how many seconds until it does touch the ground, and they can do so very quickly. So I want you to make sure that you are in your safe place, and I want you to do it very fast. So Jolliview, you are in this tornado warning also. So now's the time to be in your safe place, as well as in Stewart's Draft. All right, downtown Stanton, I want you to be in your safe place. All right, this is, the circulation may stay closer to Stewart's Draft and Fishersville and into Waynesboro, but we need to just kind of be aware that there can be a little bit of fluctuation with the storm motion here. So I want you to make sure that you are in your safe place with this. And this is a tornado warning that is still going to be ongoing for a good 20 more minutes. So if you are in the Middlebrook area between Arbor Hill, Jolly View, now is the time to make sure that you are in your safe place. So I am trying to just pop up any updates from the National Weather Service. So they do believe that the hail could be as large as 2 inches. That's some extremely significant hail. So again, this storm has a history of producing some very large hail. This is also going to be producing some torrential damaging winds, some very powerful damaging winds even outside of the tornado threat. So likely the hail is going to be a little bit further to the west, and the tornado threat is going to be a little bit further toward the east. So again, we have very large hail with this storm, as well as damaging winds. And the rotation is continuing. That's going to continue to move towards Stanton and Arbor Hill. And I'm just trying to look at the latest radar scan right now. It's still moving toward Indian Ridge Road. This is still moving toward Folly Mills Station Road, White Hill Road, Oak Ridge Lane. This is going to be moving toward the Mint Spring area also. I'm going to I know this looks a little chaotic. I'm just going to turn this on for a second so I can analyze this real quick. There might be a slight drop in CC just north of Middlebrook if you guys want to watch that. Okay. It's hard to see because we are so far away from the radar site. Okay, so this is going to, again, so it's between Middlebrook, Jolly View, Arbor Hill, Mint Spring, and the Stanton and Stewart's Draft. And again, Fishersville, we're losing some of our features here, which happens when you are a little bit further away from the radar site. But this storm is capable of producing a tornado. So again, that wind shear is still being picked up by radar in addition to the very large hail. So again, hail could be in excess of 1 to 2 inches with this severe thunderstorm. Okay, we have a view. Can we pull up SHD, please? We have... that might not be, let's see. That's the other storm. Let me just, we don't have a view. I thought I was looking in the wrong direction. I thought I was looking in the right direction. I was looking in the wrong direction. Yeah, thank you. That would be the direction we're looking at. Unfortunately, you can't see anything. So if we look to the right, that is the storm that's actually moving across Mount Solon right now, or that could be the Harrisonburg one. It's a little hard to tell. That could be that storm. That actually may be the storm moving toward the Massanutten Ridge. But right now our focus is this tornado warning storm. All right, so Middlebrook, you're in the clear. Thank you. Middlebrook, you are in the clear with this storm. Let me see here.
On SHG,
yep.
like you can see a little bit of.
That's looking toward, that's the one to the north though, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a storm for a second, but it was looking in the wrong direction. So this tornado warning goes for another 15 minutes. This is going to be just north of Mint Spring and Greenville. But Middlebrook, you are in the clear. Okay, there it goes. It's going to continue into the Stewart's Draft area. If you are in Stewart's Draft, downtown Stanton, Fishersville, you need to be in your safe place, as well as into Jolly View right now. Fishersville, Lyndhurst, you need to be in your safe place, as well as if you are on the western side of Waynesboro, and if you are in downtown Waynesboro, you need to be on alert. We're getting some very strong signs of rotation between Stanton, downtown Stanton, Jolly View, Arbor Hill, and Stewart's Draft. It is actually very hard right now to pick up exactly where this tornado could be. And we don't have a camera. We can't, because Elliott Knob won't reach that far. And SHD won't reach that far because of that pole in the way. We don't have a camera on this one. And any of the VA 511 cameras, did they look up? So this is a very powerful storm. This is showing some intense signs of rotation. Again, it's very hard to depict on this one where exactly the rotation is going to be because of the distance from the radar site. But we do know that this storm is showing some very strong signs of rotation. That's going to be, again, still between Arbor Hill, between Jolly View, between Stanton, and between Stewart's Draft, as well as moving toward the Fishersville area. That includes around the Augusta Expo. That includes, again, around the Amazon complex, and that would be moving toward the Waynesboro area. So Middlebrook, you are in the clear. Churchville, you are not included in this, but part of Parkersburg Turnpike, just west of Stanton, you are included in this. So you are in the tornado warning just on the western side of Stanton. As well as Verona, you're in this, but right now, the strongest rotation is between Arbor Hill, Jolly View, downtown Stanton, and between the Stewart's Draft area. So the storm could actually be cycling. It looks like, so we're starting to lose some of our features, but velocity is a little bit difficult to pick up in this area just because of the distance from the radar site. So again, we're in this tornado warning for about 12 more minutes. Let me see if the National Weather Service, okay, continues severe thunderstorm warning for Page, Shenandoah. I don't have any information. Okay, so okay, 2-inch hail. So again, large hail still likely with this storm. If you are in this area, make sure you are away from windows. You are in the lowest level of your home. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning for... wait a second, I have so many warnings popping up. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for Page County. Is that a destructive storm? Okay, wonderful. All right, so we're gonna move to this area. This is really kind of the tip of Page County. No, it's not. I lied. That's a tornado warning. Oh, because I only have tornado on. That's why. Okay. Yep. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Give me a second. I need to make me a note to change the severe thunderstorm warnings to individual between 60, 70, and 80, because this is, it's hard to keep track with so many of them. Okay. All right, so right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning with 80-mile-an-hour winds for Page County. And this is going to include Stanley, Ida. This is going to include Skyland up at the Shenandoah National Park. This also includes Sperryville and Woodville, or excuse me, yes, Sperryville and Woodville. And I am going to try to take off the other warnings, but I don't know that I can, because I don't think I can. I think I've tried before. We may have to do it later. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm just gonna have to zoom in really, really tight. Okay, so this is just south of Luray. This includes This includes Stanley. That's okay. This includes Stanley. So it's not so much the hail here. This is going to be the destructive wind. So if you notice, if you have a NOAA weather radio, if you have the WHSV weather app, the tone sounded just like a tornado warning. And that's what these new severe thunderstorm warning criterias do. When the winds reach 80 miles an hour, which is considered destructive, I mean, that is some pretty powerful winds, the tones will alert just like a tornado warning would. All right, so again, this is just south of Luray. This includes Route 340. This includes Stanley. This is going to include Ida. This is going to include, it doesn't include Shenandoah. Nope, because it doesn't include, it's just to the east of Shenandoah. It does include part of the Shenandoah National Park. And I'm going to take this off for a second. So really, this kind of includes more Marksville Road. This includes the Hawksbill Creek. So if you live along Hawksbill Creek, Marksville Road, Tanner's Ridge, if you're along Tanner's Ridge Road, that's the area that this is going to include. It is going to include right along Stony Run. It's going to be just north of Naked Creek. And it does include Skyline Drive and the Shenandoah National Park. So I know service can be spotty in some areas, but if you know anyone at the Shenandoah National Park, let them know they've got to take shelter because these are some serious winds. These are just as destructive as a tornado. So these are going to be some serious winds from Stanley. This includes Route 340 just north of Shenandoah. So it does not include Shenandoah, although we still have some pretty powerful winds in Shenandoah. And this includes the Hawksbill Creek area. If you live around Bailey Mountain, again, Tanner's Ridge. So the Tanner's Ridge area, that's going to be a pretty big area. Cubbage Hollow Road, Keystone Road. This is a destructive thunderstorm. It looks like, okay, tell me that's not rotation around Shenandoah. No, just the town of Shenandoah. Massanutten Mountain. There
is a little bit in between Massanutten and Elkton.
Okay, can we see anything on the Massanutten Skycam? Keep in mind, we still have a tornado warning for the town of Stanton. And the rotation is coming down slightly, but it's still going to be between Stanton, Jollyview, Fishersville, Stewart's Draft. I'm going to take you back to that area now and put up that. All right, so now it looks like we've got some large hail being indicated. Yeah, we've got some very large hail. This could be 1 to 2 inch hail coming into downtown Stanton. This is between Stanton and Jollyview. Maybe skimming Mint Spring a little bit, between Mint Spring, Barter Brook, Jollyview, Stanton, and could also be moving toward Fishersville. I know you guys had the tornado a couple years ago with the very large hail. Unfortunately, we've got some large hail with this severe thunderstorm. Okay, so I want you to make sure you are inside, you are taking shelter. It does look like the rotation's coming down a little bit, but we still have the tornado warning. So again, sometimes these storms cycle up a bit.
This is the view from PA 501 looking southbound, not Jollyview.
Oh, okay. I don't see anything, it's just dark. Okay. 55, all right, so that's a pretty...
It's up there.
Okay, all right, so these are still some powerful storms. Sorry, we're trying to analyze. Let's see, we've got about 3 to 4 remaining storms, and then we still have some strong winds behind this one. So this is part of the tornado warning. This is part of the tornado warning. This is a large hail being indicated, again, potentially up to 2 inches in diameter. So that's at least 1.2. Let me clear that. 1.2. Again, sometimes these can over or underestimate hail, but at least we know that's some pretty strong, pretty large hail with that severe thunderstorm. And again, tornado warning. So it's still radar indicated. I know I've got some messages. I don't have a chance to look at them right now. I know I've got someone, a spotter in that area. So this is our tornado warning for the Stewart's Draft area for Stanton. And this is still moving into the Fishersville, Waynesboro area, as well as into Stewart's Draft. So I am looking at this and still the rotation I think it's cycled a little bit, so it's still hard to pick up exactly where the rotation is. Verona, I would still be in your safe place. I don't think the rotation is near you, but this storm is still picking up on some very powerful, powerful winds. Okay, and so there we see the tornado warning has been extended. So there is still some rotation being picked up within this thunderstorm. Harrison, you had a tornado in 2020. So I know this is a little bit fresh for you. This includes Route 340. I want to make sure that you are in your safe place. This is in the lowest level of your home. If you don't have a basement, that's okay. I don't want you to panic about that. I want you to grab a sturdy pair of shoes. That could be a sneaker, a boot, something better than a flip-flop. Because if we were to have damage, which we have a lot of these storms that have already produced some damage, trees coming down is our most common kind of damage. I don't want you walking around, if trees were to come down in flip-flops or barefoot. So just grab a sturdy pair of shoes, a sneaker or something, go into your safe place. That can be a hallway. It can be a bathroom without windows. It can be a closet. It can be the centermost room of your home, anywhere away from windows. And don't worry about trying to take video or trying to go on TikTok or trying to go on Twitter or anything like that. The number one thing is that you get in your safe place, because a photo or a video is absolutely not worth it. The strong dynamics of our atmosphere today are very different than what we typically see. In my 13 years here, we have not had a day like this. The only day comparable would probably be the derecho of 2012. That does not happen very often, and that happened about over 10 years ago. So days like this are very rare. Today is not the day to run to the window and try to take photos and video. I want to make sure you are in your safe place. So that tornado warning has been extended. The rotation is still being picked up between the Fishersville area. It does look like it's been cycling. Between Verona, Fishersville. Now we're getting toward the Waynesboro area. We are also, let me look. Wrong county. This is going to be around Hermitage Road, Barron Ridge. This is going to be around Harrison. This is going to be between Cremora, Dooms, Harrison, Barron Ridge, Laurel Hill Road, Coakleytown Road, Long Meadow Road, Cremora Road, Oak Grove Church Road, Baines Road, Old White Bridge Road, Kidsville Road, St. James Road, Miller Road. This is going to be in your area. Even if I didn't name off your road, if you're close by, I want to make sure you are in your safe place. This does include I-81 up to about Verona, just slightly north of Verona. It includes I-64 from Stanton right to Afton Mountain. If you know someone traveling, make sure they pull off and take some sort of shelter, because now's not the time where you want to be traveling over Afton Mountain. We have strong winds, not just out ahead of the storm. I mean, the strong winds are already coming into Cremora and Dooms, as well as Waynesboro right now, but this storm is still showing signs of rotation. That rotation is likely between, we're going to wait for the tones to go off. Golf ball hail in Jolly View. Um, 68 mile an hour winds. Stanton. Report 68 mile an hour winds from a private weather station in Stanton. We're just waiting for the EAS tones to clear. All right, so we were just waiting for those the tones and the alerts to kind of clear right there. Right now, we are getting reports of golf ball size hail in the Jolly View area near Stanton in Augusta County. I also have a report of 68-mile-an-hour winds being clocked at a private weather station in the Stanton area. We still have that tornado warning, and that includes Stanton as well as Waynesboro, Cremora, and Doom. So not only do we have a tornado warning, but this storm is capable of producing 1 to 2 inch diameter of hail. We already know it's produced golf ball size hail at least, but it's also producing damaging winds. And then we also have a storm producing damaging winds in Page County. So here's a view from SHD, our Pepsi of Central Virginia Skycam from SHD. You can see the camera shaking right there. So this is still an incredibly powerful storm. Right now, the rotation, it's so tough to pick up the difference between the distance with the radar site, but between Hermitage, Harriston, Cremora, and Dooms, this is where we're picking up on the rotation. So you really want to be in that safe place. If you are still in Verona, Fishersville, Cremora, Dooms, Barron Ridge, Hermitage, Harriston, I said Cremora, Dooms. Grottos, you're on the edge right now. I would be on standby, but we have some very powerful winds coming into the Grottos area. So again, Grottos, you're on the edge, but the strongest rotation, I'm going to put that on. Strongest rotation is going to be kind of in this area right in here. It's hard to pick up, but now we almost have a secondary area of rotation right in here. So I would say there's 2 areas of rotation, and right now I'm picking up on some very powerful winds in the Waynesboro area. Waynesboro, let me look. At least 50, 60, possibly 70-mile-an-hour winds in the Waynesboro area, as well as a couple areas of rotation. All right, so we have that tornado warning. So again, if you are in Fishersville to Waynesboro, Harriston, Hermitage, Barron Ridge, Cremora, Dooms, along Route 340 in Augusta County. Grottos, you're on the edge, but I want you on standby right now. You are in this tornado warning. Stanton, you are in the all clear. Verona, you are in the all clear. You can come out of your safe space. Okay, Lyndhurst, you are in the all clear. Stewart's Draft, you are in the all clear. Okay, now we are going to, I want to move this to the other very strong severe thunderstorm we have. That is in Page County. This is between Stanley and Ida. This is also including the Skyline Drive area across Big Meadows. And I'm going to take down, there we go. So is that the storm I want? Did they bring that one down in Page County to 60? 60. They did bring that one down to 60. Okay, so this one does not have the 80-mile-an-hour winds. This one has the 60-mile-an-hour winds, which is still pretty powerful, but it does not have the 80-mile-an-hour winds at this time, but we still have some very strong winds kind of in a line between Stanley and the Shenandoah area. I would watch, there's a little bit of rotation being picked up between Shenandoah and Elkton. Elkton, you still have some strong winds. Let me pull up the wind shear. Weather computer's just being a little slow right now. Okay, so there's some of the rotation between Cremora, Dooms, and Waynesboro. And yep, that little bit right there, just east of Elkton, there's a little bit of rotation. That's actually starting to ramp up quite quickly. I would not be surprised if they put out a tornado warning, which sometimes takes just a minute or two to do. So I would, if you are in the Elkton area between Elkton and Swift Run Gap, excuse me, got my gaps mixed up. Swift Run Gap, I would be aware that there could be some rotation in this area, but we also have some very strong winds around the town of Shenandoah right now. All right. Can I look at the rest of radar? How are we looking out there, guys? Getting better. I like to hear that. We've got the whole first alert storm team here. There's another line. All right, how's that line looking to the back? So we've got another line of storms moving through. All right, that's still across the Alleghenies right now. We've got two of them are severe. All right, that's better. All right, so.
We also have it cell down towards Batesville. I think it might merge up there.
Okay.
It's like east of our Waynesboro cell.
All right, so we still have, I'm going to stay on this tornado warning. So it's 4:36 right now. They have the tornado warning until 5 o'clock, which is when we should be on for our show. No idea what's going to happen with that. We'll let you know. We will figure that out. All right, so it looks like the rotation is closer to the Cremora Dooms area, but boy, we still have some very powerful winds between Weir's Cave, Grottos. I'm going to overlay. Oh my. Well, that's a cell for you. That's looking at the back edge. Can we take SHD full screen, please? Thank you. I'm talking to our directors. That is the back edge of this supercell, and that's quite a back edge of this supercell. That is a powerful, powerful storm, and that is quite some structure. Oh. They're gonna work on the Skycam for you. Nope, who's messing with the angle? Let me see if we can.
I think there's a little bit of a delay in between.
Is there a lag on it?
Is someone messing with the angle? We still have the tornado warning. That is for Augusta County. We'll let it catch up in just a second. We still have some high winds, but again, the rotation right now is going to be between Cremora and Dooms, just on the northern side of Waynesboro. It may very well be moving just along the Blue Ridge Mountains right now. And let's see if we can. We're trying to get a little bit of a better view. Let's see. Well, the winds are still pretty fierce. We can see that. There we go.
That's better.
Wow. Can you guys see that? That is one bad-looking supercell. That is a storm. That is that tornado warned storm. We are looking at the back edge of that storm as it's starting to move across the Blue Ridge right now. All right, we're taking it full screen. All right, perfect. I'm going to try to mess with Elliot Knob to see if I can see it because I can't go up any higher on that SHD cam. So I'm going to see if I can. That is still a tornado warned storm, although it does look like the rotation is going to be moving along and east of Cremora. So we're going to wait on that one to see if the National Weather Service will take that warning down. But we still have some very powerful winds with that supercell thunderstorm. So these are supercell thunderstorms. There's the new radar scan. Let's see. We still have powerful winds on the back side of it between Weir's Cave and Grottos. Grottos were picking up on winds easily between 60 and 70 miles an hour. We still have some very powerful winds even around the Harrisonburg, Dayton, Bridgewater area. Getting a photo now. Okay, so looks like we've got maybe a lowering shelf cloud in the from the Stewart's Draft area. Definitely some hail from the Parkersburg Turnpike. And this is still that tornado warning. That's going to go for about 20 more minutes. I suspect that might actually come down probably pretty soon, because it does look like we're starting to lose that rotation, and that rotation is actually starting to be picked up east of the Blue Ridge, but we still have a very strong, severe thunderstorm. I'm just looking at the National Weather Service. Okay, so the hail could be as large as golf balls with this storm. And the strongest, let me pull up some of the hail, let's see. Okay, so again, we still have some hail being picked up between the Waynesboro, Cremora, and Dooms area. I want to look at that shear again between Elkton and Swift Run Gap. There's still some wind shear being picked up. It may ramp up as that gets to the east. It looks a lot weaker actually right now. That may actually start to spin more as it gets east of the Blue Ridge. So we are, as soon as this tornado warning comes down, we're going to drop our coverage. I'm going to return you back to the last few minutes of your regular programming in just a moment. As soon as this tornado warning comes down, we're going to try to regroup, and then we're going to give you some more information, because we're not done with the storms just yet, but I need to analyze the atmosphere and really take a look at what we still have left, because we're not done. The cold front was still in well into, where was it this afternoon? Ohio still? Yeah, it's still well off to the west. So it does look like the rotation is still to our east, but we still have some very powerful winds with this tornado warning, with this storm that's moving through Waynesboro, Grottoes, Cremora, Dooms. I'm pulling it back up. There we go. In that area. So Waynesboro, you are in the all clear right now. So you are clear. Crozet, this is going to skirt by you, but you're still going to have some very strong winds. And there is the back edge of that storm. That is quite incredible. Cremora, let's see, Port Republic, you even have some very powerful winds. Weir's Cave, you are out of this, but you still have some very strong winds. Cremora, Dooms, you are still in this. You still have some very strong winds. Again, I do think that rotation is east of the Blue Ridge. I'm just waiting for the National Weather Service to trim this back. Grottoes, you still have some very strong winds. Wow, that is an incredible. For the storms today, this was definitely, certainly a rare event in our area today. That's something that we don't see the strong dynamics very, very often in our area. So, we wanted the rain. We didn't want the severe. Unfortunately, we ended up with the severe. So I'm just taking a gander, taking a look at my storm. So we did have the rain. Unfortunately, we had the severe. So once the storms start to clear your area, if you do have reports for us, you can send those in on WHSV.com or the WHSV weather app. I do have a report graphic. Give me a sec. There it is. So if you want to report damage to us, again, only when it's safe to do so, you can go to WHSV.com, submit photos. Remember to include your location. I don't know where Thomas Road is, we have very many counties. So maybe, the 500 block of Thomas Road in Grant County, that would be a great, more detailed location. You can report to us on social media. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, details and location, and then we can pass everything on to the National Weather Service. And if it is something that you suspect that is a tornado damage, photos will help, and make sure you send those photos to WHSV.com. Facebook reduces the quality of those images, especially when you send them in messages. So if you upload them to the website, I can see the full resolution and we can take a look at that. And we'll be happy to kind of take a look at that and take a look at radar and really kind of analyze what some of these storms have done. And then of course we can go out tomorrow and take a look at the National Weather Service. That storm still, again, we still have the tornado warning for Cremora and Dooms, but I do expect that to be trimmed back because the rotation certainly looks like it's more east of the Blue Ridge right now. I'm going to wait just another minute or two. But again, once it's safe to do so, you can report some of that damage again to social media or on WHSV.com. Say that again, John. Perfect. We've got some hail photos coming in from our website. We'll go ahead and show you. Wow, this is from Fishersville. That looks at least golf ball size. That one in the middle looks bigger than golf ball size, though. That's hail in Stanton. So that was that tornado warned storm where we said at least 2-inch hail. I mean, that certainly could be tennis ball size hail. And, you know, to be honest, biggest hail size in this area, it was baseball size, 2 3/4 of an inch. Measure that. If you think you have hail 2 3/4 of an inch, that would be a record for our viewing area. So you can send that to me. Again, 2 3/4 of an inch would be record hail for our viewing area. So here's just some of the photos and video that you all have been sending into us. So thank you for these photos. Again, make sure, you know, we want you to be safe doing that. Don't want you to put your life in any risk. There's some hail falling right there. And some of these severe thunderstorms. Wow, quite incredible. And all right, so here we go. We've got one line moving out. We've got another one moving in. That tornado warning, they're about to trim that. Am I not getting the updates? Because they still haven't, have they just not trimmed that back? The rotation is clearly east of the Blue Ridge. There was a report of a funnel cloud over the city of Waynesboro. Okay, so we did not, a train spotter reported a funnel cloud over the city of Waynesboro. We have not seen that photo. We'll see if we can get that photo. If anyone has a photo of that funnel cloud, we want to make sure it's not scud cloud, which is those low-hanging clouds. But of course, the storm certainly was showing some rotation. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. I know we're trying to scroll through to see if anyone has submitted that. I'm surprised they have not taken that down just yet. So, but we have to stay on this until they take